Why don't more people use the MP7? This thing is absolutely incredible. Definitely one of the best guns, if not the best gun in the game. Okay, definitely not the best gun in the game, but you guys can see as don't look at that. As you guys can see, there is no recoil on the weapon. You have a very good damage range. You have so much mobility. Like, this thing is nasty. Only with my class though. So to start things off, to make this thing absolutely incredible, you gotta throw on the Tango barrel. This thing has literally 0 damage range. Actually, this thing has negative damage range without the barrel. Please run the barrel unless you're like Shotzi. He doesn't run a barrel, but yeah, that's Shotzi. By the way, do you want that Orion camo, but you're just a little bit too busy to grind through all 2,000 camos? If so, you should definitely check out Guapci. Guapci provides weapon leveling services, camo unlock services, challenge unlock services such as the Warzone Nuke, and many more for all the platforms. Which then after you throw in the barrel, you do need to tune it. We are gonna be I thought I tuned it. Bring up the recoil steadiness, reducing that side to side annoying recoil, and then increase the damage range by a little bit. Just increase that. You're not gonna really notice the loss to your ADS, especially when we go over to the magazine, which this attachment isn't really needed. I'll give you guys a variation, but if you want this weapon to be incredible, then you are gonna want to go over to the magazine and throw in the 30 round mag. So you're gonna run out of ammo all the time, but you're gonna get so much movement speed, ADS speed, sprint to fire speed, plus you can reload way quicker, and so it is gonna make the weapon a lot better. And then for the next attachment, increase the mobility even more. You are really gonna feel like if the Flash and Usain Bolt had a baby. You want to go over here and throw on the Skalager Soldier Grip. This is going to severely increase that mobility. We are going to be losing recoil control, but we are going to be using a certain attachment to bring that value back up. And then for the tuning, just increase the ADS speed and the sprint to fire speed. Whenever you have the option to increase the sprint to fire, this game, like overall, every gun has a very slow sprint to fire, so I really recommend you guys to increase that value. And these things are actually based on a linear scale, so we're getting the most amount of sprint to fire speed when we have it here rather than if we were to max that out. And then because we are losing recoil control with the weapon, you want to go over to the stock, and this is kind of needed. Pretty much everyone runs this stock on their build. It's going to be the Assault 60 stock, which is just going to add a lot of recoil control, with the con being that we're losing ADS speed. But as you guys, as you guys can see, we still have a very snappy ADS. Even if you took off that 30 round mag, you are still going to have a very snappy ADS. Although, if that's not snappy enough for you, I got you another very good class setup. Anyways, for the tuning, you just want to increase the ADS and the aim walking speed, and so now you're going to be able to strafe a lot quicker, although we are losing a little bit of our aiming stability, which is going to be totally okay, because now for the last attachment, we are going to be going over to the underbarrel, and you want to throw on the Bruin Sync Shot under barrel, which at first glance, you're not going to really want to run this. Like, you get aiming idle stability, which, you know, that helps reduce the unpredictable recoil, and then you get some hipfire accuracy, but then we're losing walking speed, so it doesn't seem that worth it. But let me tell you, this actually makes the weapon so much better. It's absolutely incredible, so underrated. Plus, who walks? And then after you throw that on, you want to increase the recoil stabilization by a little bit, and then you want to increase the overall aiming idle stability, and so now there's going to be absolutely zero sway on the build. That being said, if you take a look, you guys can see it really doesn't sway, so it's very predictable recoil, and then it's just, you know, it's super easy to use. This is actually one of maybe my top 3 favorite weapons in the game, which for me, this is my favorite setup, although there is another setup for the weapon. Oh, and say you're using this build and you're like, damn, I suck at the game, I can't control this recoil, then you might want to go ahead and swap out this underbarrel for the commando foregrip, which I cannot find that. I don't know where that commando is right here. And then I would go ahead and not tune the left side. You can increase the recoil stabilization, but you're going to lose a lot of your ADS, and I guess we're increasing it. And for that bottom bar, just increase the overall aiming idle stability, and so now the weapon is going to be a little bit slower, but it is going to be a lot easier to use, and so you might want to start with this class setup and then move on to the better one. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, doing a little voiceover. It's been like 2 weeks since I've done one of these, you know, trying to mix it up and stuff. Got the VEL 46, the MP7. This thing's absolutely incredible. Definitely one of my favorite weapons in the game. Like, when I'm playing Search, I always use this weapon. So much mobility, makes the rush route super easy to do, and there's absolutely zero recoil. If you don't use this weapon, you gotta start using it, which is probably why you're here. This thing is crazy though. Oh, and I think you guys are seeing this on Easter. So, happy Easter if you celebrate it. I don't really celebrate it, but happy Easter. By the way, coconut Red Bull's the best Red Bull. Actually, the best drink out there. There is no better energy drink than a coconut Red Bull. Maybe the yellow Red Bull, but the coconut one's definitely the best. Okay, I'm starting to get sidetracked. Let's try to, here, I'll commentate what I'm doing so you can improve at the game, so you can get a little bit better. Okay, so, flanking around. Call of Duty is a game of predictions. You do not want to be predicted. You got to be able to predict the enemies. Right there was kind of like an ego chat out. That was very bad. I didn't have any information that I just ran right into the battle. You usually got to get information, figure out where the enemies are going to be, where they might be, and then just push it like that. Right here, that was nasty. See how nasty this gun is? Nasty. And so, yeah, you just got to be able to predict where the enemies are going to be, which is why it's very helpful to know these spawns. Like, I usually look at where the objective is, who is capturing the objective in hardpoint, and then I'll see where my teammates are, and then I usually get a good, estimate of where the enemies are going to be. Then I can start pre-aiming those lanes and just getting ready for them to all push me. This 30 round mag, it might be a little bit, like, it'll take a little bit of time to get used to it, but once you get used to it, you'll be very, very good with it. I used to like to run just no magazine, or even like the 50 round magazine in the regular bigger maps. And ranked play, obviously, because it's 4v4, you want to run the 30 round mag. But in this regular matches, I wanted to run a bigger mag, and then I just got used to the 30, and I just started doing way, way better. So just try to get used to it, and you'll be fine. Unless you suck at the game and you just don't have that good of accuracy. Right here, I should have died. I was panicking. I was like, oh my god, I gotta go. One thing that I got a little bit annoyed with in this match is that the enemies don't really know how to capture the objective, and so my teammates are just capturing it, making it just, you know, be a very high scoring game for my team. And I want the enemies to capture and my teammates, so then the game lasts longer. But now the game is going to finish up pretty quickly. We still get the nasty MGB though. It was just, you know, a little bit annoying. Over here, very, very sketchy. That was, I've never seen this spot before. What is that spot? Let me know in the comments if you've ever died from that spot. I didn't even know that was in the game. I was so mind blown. Like, that, what in the buffoonery was that? Just wild. Sad days, the coconut is gone. Oh, it's always an upset to my day when I finish the coconut Red Bull. I could drink like so many of those, like so many of them, and it's just, you don't have like too much caffeine. Once you get to like 400 milligrams of caffeine for like an average person, which, you know, we're definitely not average, but, you know, you usually don't want to pass 400 milligrams. Also, just been hitting the gym. Dude, I am getting swole. It is crazy. I used to go a lot, and then I took a few months off when this game came out just so I could pump out that content and stuff. And it was cold. I don't want to go to the gym when I gotta brush off my car and shovel 4 feet of snow just to get to my car. But the snow is gone, and it's nice out, so I start going back to the gym, and like, dude, I just plumped up. I'm going crazy. Dwayne Johnson looks up to me now, believe it or not. It's crazy. Okay, so right here we are on the 10, trying to rush and get this nuke before the game ends because, yeah, the enemies are just not capturing the objective. They got one nice hold, which is how they got 54 points, but overall not doing that well. This is very, very sketchy because I'm missing all my shots. The enemies are on all sides of me, and so I'm just really hoping I'm going to win my gunfights. Which, you know, we win them all, so we're all good. Using my minimap a lot. When I'm playing this game, I literally only look at my minimap. Especially when I have the advanced UAV up. Like, I don't even look at the center of my screen. I just only look at the minimap. And a lot of people are like, oh, how do you know where they're at? The minimap. The minimap tells you so much. And the minimap is actually broken in this game. In every other Call of Duty, but this Call of Duty and Modern Warfare 2019, basically you would shoot your gun, and if you didn't have a suppressor, you would actually flash up as a red dot on the minimap, which increased the flow. You can get a lot more kills, a lot less people were hiding. Now in this game, you can shoot your gun without a suppressor, and you just won't be on the radar. And which is just, I don't like that at all. I really don't like that. Let me know in the comments too. I always say that. I always ask you guys to leave 15 different things in the comments, but I am curious. For the people who know about the old minimap, do you like the old minimap more, or do you like the new way? Typically, it's just Infinity Ward that does this weird stuff. They always try to reinvent the wheel, but then they just make it worse. And then we're like, no, do this, and they're like, no, we know what's best. And then they start losing numbers, like losing players, and we're like, I think the players know what's up. I don't think you devs really know what you're doing too much. Like, I watched the devs play in that in FaZe Dirty's video about the FJX and about the intervention when they invited him out to the studio to go use the intervention. He was playing against the devs, and the devs were running like shotguns and riot shields on their back. I'm like, oh, the devs like to run riot shields on their back. No wonder that's such a broken mechanic that the riot shields can be on your back. Okay, so the game is gonna end pretty soon. They basically weren't that good they weren't that good at the game. I think you kind of need someone who's good at the game and plays the game a lot and like makes content on the game to make some of the decisions, so then you get best of all the worlds, you know, like every perspective on the game. Okay, so 241, you think I'm not going to get the nuke, but watch this. Cbass is going to come through and just win the game and drop a motherfucking MGB. Watch this. Nah, I'm just joking. I didn't get the MGB because my team was just capturing everything. Very, very annoying. I did drop an MGB before this. I just didn't like the gameplay. So, here is the MGB.
They got scared. They quit. Shame on them.